What do you think has to go right for the 49ers this year for them to make the playoffs? For them to make the playoffs? I think a lot of people are looking at their schedule and thinking a lot would have to go wrong for them to miss the playoffs, but I don't look at it that way. I mean, I think this team has a lot going for it. Let's count all the things I like about this team. Honestly, no sarcasm. They're deep at quarterback. They have 2 quarterbacks who can start on this team. One of them's really good. The other one might be really good in this system. It's a good place to start. Brock and Mac. The wide receiver room looks deep. Ricky Pearsall looks really good. Demarcus Robinson looks good. Jordan Watkins looks good. And then, you got Pearsall, you got Jennings and Ayuk out there too. We'll see what happens with them. Running back room looks deep. I mean, Christian's not going to be what he was 2 years ago, but he's still here. Garendo's interesting. Jordan James, interesting. Patrick Taylor, interesting. Like, the Niners always have running backs. They're never going to be in a position where they have some stiff back there. It's Bobby Turner. It's this system. They're always deep at running back. They don't have a bunch of all pros at the position, but they have good players at running back. They're deep at tight end. They got Kittle and Luke Farrell and Ross Dwelly. Don't you freaking sleep on Ross Dwelly and Jake Tonjes too. It's just, to me, everything comes down to the offensive line. The Niners have all this talent at the skill positions, a bunch of good small people, but I don't think they have one good backup offensive lineman. I don't have one. So this offense is at the mercy of Ben Barch. It's at the mercy of Trent Williams. It's at the mercy of Colton McKivitz. How many games is Ben Barch going to play this year? He got hurt in his second start last year. If he gets hurt in his second start this year, the Niners are in trouble. They banked on him. They can't go a full season with Nick Zakelj at left guard. He's not good enough. They need 17 games out of Ben Barch. Who knows if they can win without him? They need close to 17 games out of Trent Williams. They need 17 games out of Colton McKivitz. If Colton McKivitz misses a game, the starting right tackle would be Austin Pleasance or Isaiah Prince. Like, remember in 2020 when the Niners weren't really that good, even though they had just gone to the Super Bowl, and they'd have games where like Brian Allen was their cornerback? They could have games like that this year, particularly on the offensive line and in the defensive backfield. Let's go defense. On the D-line, Kevin Givens is out for a while. Yetur Gross-Matos been out, but it seems like they're still fairly deep on the D-line. From the 3 rookies to Jordan Elliott to Bryce Huff to Nick Bosa, Sam Okwanu. They have a lot of bodies, and a lot of the backups are young and improving and intriguing. So if Jordan Elliott were to go down, it's not the end of the world. At linebacker, if Fred Warner gets hurt, you're in trouble, obviously. But still, it seems like they have young, intriguing linebackers on the team. Johnny Holland's one of the best linebacker coaches in the world. Nick Martin's intriguing. D. Winter's intriguing. Tatum Bethune intriguing. Stone Blanton, Luke Gifford, all intriguing. But the corners, man, and the safeties. I mean, they don't have a strong safety. Like, their strong safety is out. And when he comes back, they might have a good tandem. So far, Jason Pinnock's been intriguing. You're hoping that, he's played before. He's never been anything special, but maybe on the Niners in a new system with better players, he'll be something good. Him and Mustafa could be a good safety tandem, but Jair Brown, in and out, not particularly good. Richie Grant, maybe worse. So they're going to have a liability at strong safety for how many weeks? And then at corner, they're fine right now between Renardo Green, Upton Stout, Diamond Lenore. Those are 3 good corners. Those are 3 really, really good corners. But all of them have to play every game. They can't afford any of those guys to get hurt, and Renardo Green's already hurt, and Lenore's working through hip irritation, which sounds awful and painful. Hip irritation. Anyway, I couldn't tell you who the 4th best cornerback is on the team. It might be an undrafted rookie from BYU who's 24. It might be Jacob Robinson. Might be, and I think he's pretty good. But I don't know if the Niners have the guts to even put him on the team or make him the 4th corner. They'd probably go with Dallas Flowers, who maybe we'll see in preseason. Trey Brown has been really, really not good, not so good in training camp. He started off as the starting nickel, Then they moved him outside, and now he's only running with the backups. I think they saw enough. So all the promise they have in the front seven, all the intriguing young players they added to the front seven, all the depth they have in their skill positions on offense, I think everything can be undone if they just with one or two injuries at corner, one or two injuries in the defensive backfield, one or two injuries at offensive line. Can they win a game without Trent? Can they win a game without Colton? What happens if Ben freaking Barch goes down? When you're at the mercy of Ben Barch, it's scary. Unless you're a big Zakel J fan. San Fran Trader says, are you high on cowing? No, I've never done cowing in my life. And I don't care who tells you that I ever did cowing or ever took cowing. It's a lie. It's a fucking lie. I never did any of that cowing. And if I did, it was just one time and I was peer pressured. And I'm certainly not high on cowing right now. See? So, Jacob Cowing. Do I like him as a player? Yeah. I haven't, he's been hurt a little bit. I'd like to see, I'm not high on him as a receiver. I mean, as a returner, but as a receiver, I think he has potential, but I think he's kind of a bad fit with Purdy because they're both small. And I feel like Purdy already struggles to see some of the field. And that's why he throws to tall guys like Kittle and Jennings. So having like a 5'8" wide receiver running around, he might as well be under the cloak of invisibility on this team. So definitely not better than Ricky, but I think he's got potential. No team wins starting so many rookies in key spots. True. Probably not. But I'm actually more worried about some of these veterans, the Jordan Elliott's, the Dallas Flowers, the Trey Browns, the Richie Grants, the Jason Pinnocks. Like, how good are they going to be? Because those are journeymen. Austin says, if the Niners have a similar 7-10 type season, what changes do you see happening given that you see these guys every day, especially with Kyle? 9-8 in my opinion. I guess it depends how it happens. I don't know. It kind of feels like they're going to have injuries and they could go 7-10 and they say, well, we had to play. We're missing a lot of our guys. And then it's just a matter of whether the Yorks buy that. The fans buy that. I don't think you can use. No, what I think was going to happen is if they go 7-10, it's going to be a battle between Kyle and Brock. Whose fault is it? Or maybe not Kyle and Brock, but Kyle's camp and Brock's camp. Because Kyle's camp could be like, okay, we're 7-10 because our team was really thin. Why was our team thin? Because of that contract. Maybe I didn't want to do the contract. Maybe the Yorks were really excited about Brock, and I was like, you know what? Why don't we trade him to Tennessee? Why don't we just sign Mac Jones? Why don't we just acknowledge that my system is the star here and that anyone could run it except for Trey, and that Mac Jones for $4 million could do most of what Brock Purdy could. He could do all of that if the Niners go 7-10. It's Brock's fault. It's everyone who wanted to accept. I wanted to trade him to Tennessee for the 33rd pick. I said that. I don't know if you said that. Might have. I wanted to trade Brock. I told you guys that my system is the freaking star here and that I created Brock and that while we like him, we could create someone else and we will never need to spend $53 million a year on the quarterback position when it's the system. It's the system. Look at Mac. He could put it all on Brock. Not Brock, but the contract. He could put it on Brock's contract. Hey, if you want to have an actually competitive team, maybe we don't spend 15% of our cap space on one player who is heavily boosted by me. What do you think? Just saying. And then Brock put it on Kyle like, hey, what does he do? What is he adding to the? Maybe if we had another coach who actually valued the offensive line, we'd do better. He could do that. Their camp could do that. Daddy says, I thought you were going to wuss out on the question. Good job. I almost did. I forgot about it. And then Jerry asked about Talanoa Hufanga. What's it going to be like practicing against Hufanga and Greenlaw? And I'm like, oh, I got to ask about Trey. And then I asked about it in like kind of a weak way. I was like, how pleased were you to see Trey? That was weak. I should just put in his, like, did you watch him? Did you watch him? And he said no. But of course he was, you always know, I didn't watch, but I know what happened and I'm happy about it. How come they can't just admit to watching? Maybe they didn't watch. No team wins starting. You got you. Would you bet Niners -1.5 in Seattle week 1? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Even if they were plus 1.5, I'd be kind of nervous. But on the road with the rookies and the lumps that they're expecting to take, I don't know. My thing with the Niners this year is like, let's see who's healthy. Week 1. Let's see how many of their starting offensive linemen are healthy and how many of their starting defensive backs are healthy for that game. If everyone's healthy, yeah, maybe. If Dallas Flowers is on the field, if Richie Grant's on the field, if Nick Zakel's on the field, nah. I think that's going to be the kind of the weekly test. When healthy, this team could beat a lot of teams on their schedule. But you take away one guy, two guys at key places, all bets are off. Like, forget Christian McCaffrey. I'm talking freaking Colton Kivitz and Ben Barch. That's where we're at. Let's see how many games Ben Barch, he injured himself lifting weights before training camp. Let's see how far he gets through this season. But if he's out there week 1, Niners going to be a juggernaut. A juggernaut, I say. Nick Zakel, NFL four-time All-Patriot League, got it. Yeah, man. I mean, we asked Chris Forrester about Zakel yesterday because there was supposed to be a competition between him and Barch. And I was like, so are they still competing or is that Barch's job? And he was like, well, they were competing. And Zakel had every opportunity to take the job when Barch was out, but he didn't. I mean, he was good. He's good, but he didn't take the job. So yeah, it's Barch's job to lose. I just feel like Zakel's kind of small. Barch is so much bigger than him. Zakel, when you watch him in one-on-ones, he just seems like he gets overpowered a lot. I wouldn't feel comfortable with him starting, but he's one injury away. Spencer Burford is one injury away from starting at left tackle for the 40. Can the Niners win a game with Spencer Burford starting at left tackle? I don't know. He's not Jalen Moore. No offense, but they drafted him to play right guard. I know he played left tackle at University of Texas San Antonio, but they drafted him. They were like, nah, there's no way that's going to work. We're going to move him to right guard. And now they're like, well, we don't have many options. That's why they signed Andre Dillard, because they weren't super, confident in this transition for Burford. But Dillard, I don't know when he's ever coming back. So what are their choices?